StateCollege.com. I'm Nate Mink here with Ben Jones. It's Wednesday. We're at the Latch practice fields previewing Penn State's Saturday afternoon game with Nebraska at Memorial Stadium in Lincoln. Kick time is 3:30 p.m. ABC Regional will televise. ESPN will have it nationally.
Yep.
Penn State, obviously, Jordan Hill is kind of the big question mark for Penn State heading into this weekend. The knee sprain, obviously, last week at Purdue. Day-to-day, as Coach O'Brien said, doing some things at practice, but boy, it didn't look like a whole lot.
He was out there riding the bike.
He was out there for stretch, doing some bicycle. What do you think the hope is for him? At best, limited reps. Or does Penn State just need to realize that they may have to go, the full 60 minutes with James Terry and Anthony Zettel and the rest of the crew?
Yeah, I think that's what they're probably going to end up doing. Penn State hasn't really rushed guys back from injury, and Jordan Hill's got a bright future ahead of him in the NFL, and I don't think Bill O'Brien wants to rush him back out there just to re-aggravate any sort of injury like that. I mean, it might hurt their chances on the defensive front, obviously losing a guy like Jordan Hill, but I see him getting limited reps at the very best.
Kyle Carter, the redshirt freshman tight end, looked real mobile out there today, I thought. It looks like, I think, a much better chance that he could go Saturday. Yeah. Is he important to the offense? Is he, well, obviously he is, but, is he someone that, Penn State's going to need offensively to be able to get by at Nebraska? They were able to manage pretty well last week at Purdue, but, Nebraska's not Purdue by any stretch.
Yeah, I mean, Penn State's really deep at the tight end position, and I mean, you've got a lot of guys that can step up, and we saw that against Purdue. But I mean, anytime you can get a guy like Kyle Carter out on the field, that's gonna increase your ability to spread the ball around.
Bill Bell, the running back, out there practicing, he looked good. He had some bounce in his step. The running back situation, though, is like we said, it's been all year long, is a competition, a week-to-week thing. Zwinak, do you think he's earned it at this point? I mean, do you agree with the decision to have a running back by committee?
Yeah, I mean, Zwinak's done a good job when they needed somebody to just pound it right into the line of scrimmage. He's done a good job then, but I think that Belton gives him a different dimension, especially against a team like Nebraska. So you might see him back out there. You might just see Zwinak. I feel like we don't know until the game starts who's really going to get all the reps.
3 games left for this senior class. We know they're going to bring their A game. Effort's not going to be an issue. We thought maybe there was a chance it could be tough to get up for some of these Big Ten games. This is a top 16 opponent on the road. Should be a great environment. What does Penn State need to do to come out of Saturday with a win?
They need to contain Taylor Martinez. They need to get the offense going in a hurry, and they need to just make sure not to make mental errors. Sometimes in the Ohio State game, they had some unforced penalties and things like that. And Nebraska's a tough place to play, and they're a good team, so you got to limit those sorts of mistakes.
Prediction?
I don't know. Penn State played well when they bounced back, but Purdue's not particularly good. Nebraska's pretty good, and they've got stuff to play for. I have a hard time picking Penn State, but then again, they've played well on the road, so if they bring their game like they did at Iowa and Purdue, in Illinois, there's no reason they can't win, but I think I'm going to give the edge to Nebraska.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go to Nebraska as well. Like you mentioned, they are playing for a little bit more than Penn State in terms of a trip to Indy and possibly Pasadena. I think Taylor Martinez has made leaps and bounds as a passer, number one, and he does add a really strong running threat for them as well. But to me, I think the key is Jordan Hill and his health. You take away an All Big Ten player, at least maybe even an All American player. You just don't replace those kind of guys. And that's not a slight to James Terry or anyone else on the defensive line. But Jordan's a special player, and I think a lot of people know that. And also, I think Bo Pelini, this is kind of his chance to really make a mark in the Big Ten. I mean. I think it's his 3rd year there now. He hasn't been to a BCS game. Nebraska hasn't won a conference title since 1999 when they were back in the Big 12. I mean, this is a program that's kind of been teetering on the cusp of breaking out onto the big stage, but hasn't quite gotten over that hump. I think they know that this could be the year to finally do it, and those chances are limited, particularly.
Very much so.
So we will see you. Well, none of us will make the trip out to Lincoln on Saturday, so we will see you next week previewing Indiana and the upstart Hoosiers, who may be playing for a Rose Bowl themselves. We never know. But for Ben Jones, I'm Nate Mink for StateCollege.com. Thanks for watching. See ya.